What's up, everybody? It's Gomlet, and welcome back to another ranked draft of Rivals of Ixalan here on the channel. Here we have not the greatest pack in the world. World Shaper's cool, but I don't think World Shaper's like that good. It's kind of just a 4-mana 3/3. You probably attack with it once, and then they just like immediately block it with something bigger than a 3/3, and you just get 1 or 2 lands, which is cool. I don't think that is that great outside of Casual. Casual, it's certainly a lot of fun. Definitely think that the best card in here is Legion Lieutenant. The 2-mana Lords are just very good. There's also a removal spell, and then there's Divine Verdict. There's some really good aggressive pirates. There's 2-mana 2/1 Flyer, 2-mana 2/1 Menace. Both of those are quite good. I think I'm just going to pick up the Legion Lieutenant here and see if we can go into vampires. And oh my god. Yeah, that is a start. This is a really hard choice. So we've got Martyr of Dusk, Skymarcher, Aspirant, both as pretty good little vampires to just go into this deck. Or there's just removal spells. There's Moment of Craving and Impaled. Both of those are incredible. I think I just got to take the removal spell here. My last deck was very flawed in that it had like no removal, so I'm going to try to take removal pretty highly here. Just to make sure I've got some. So here's another hard choice, because it's Divine Verdict or Squire's Devotion. Squire's Devotion is very powerful, but Divine Verdict is removal. Man, that's hard. Squire's Devotion is so good. I'm just going to take Divine Verdict, though. I want to make sure I get removal. I don't know how highly the white and black removal gets taken, though, because white and black just have so much more removal than any other deck that I probably don't need to take white-black removal anywhere near as highly as I think I should. Because, like, now I just have 3 removal spells and 1 Legion Lieutenant, whereas I could have had a Squire's Devotion. The deck would still be pretty awkward with just those cards, so yeah, this is not working out. There's, like, no vampires running around, so this could end up being a pretty awkward deck. We'll have to see. I guess it's just turning into white-black, and that's it? Like, yeah, we've just got, like, a human soldier, a horse. I guess we're just white-black with some removal spells now. Now we've got a pirate. There's a vampire. So that was probably the fastest I've ever drafted a first pack. Wow. I guess we'll get another Legion Lieutenant with, like, no vampires? Seems good. This is going to be a fast draft. So there's a removal spell, but I already have 2 Divine Verdict and an Impale, so I'm going to actually take the vampire here so that I can actually have some creatures. Just make sure I actually get vampires. Now I'm just going to really highly pick vampire creatures. That's how this pack is going to go. This is a vampire creature, but I don't think it's that good, but I do need more vampires. And once again, we are just out of vampires immediately, so we're just like really hoping that the third pack here will give us a lot of vampires. Deadly Brawler could be okay. That's probably the best card in this pack. I guess I'll just take Sun Sentinel, though, because it's just definitely going into this deck. Another awkward pack. Yeah, I'm not playing any of these cards, I don't think. I could play a Forerunner. I could just get a mono black pirate if I get like a really good one. Kind of want to just Storm the Vault for my collection though, because I don't have any of them. Might as well take it so I can use it in standard. I do think Snubhorn Sentry is actually pretty good, so it's probably going to go into this deck. Here we'll take a Foul Orchard in case I get something in green that I want to splash in. I really don't like Pitiless Plunder that much, so I'll take Stone Quarry in case I get a red card to splash in. I'm not playing Gruesome Fate, but I'll take it here. Probably not playing Dark Inquiry, but I could. Alright, final pack here. There's our first Legion Conquistador. We're in pack 3, and now we've seen 1 Legion Conquistador in all of the packs, so that's kind of awkward. Wow, this is a really hard choice, because the removal in this pack is so good, but I need vampires. Like Bishop Soldier. But, like, there's a Walk the Plank and a Contract Killing. Both of those are just exceptional removal spells. I think I'm just going to take Contract Killing, because I just really don't want to play against a Merfolk deck and have a Walk the Plank. Alright, we're getting vampires. There's a vampire. Yes, let's get there. Get some more vampires, please. Uh-oh. We ran out of vampires. That's Mark of the Vampire. Counts, right? It's got vampire in the name. Another removal spell. I'm not going to take this one. Really need vampires. Bloodcrazed Paladin does not seem that good. I guess you just trade with some creatures and then it's a 2-mana 3/3. Bishop seems better, but it's still like a 5-mana 3/3, and we don't have very many vampires in this deck, like, actually. So let's go ahead and whittle this deck down here. So this is our 23. It's been whittled down. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 vampires. That's not that bad. Maybe we just take the bishop. That is a lot of mana, though. I think we do want more earlier creatures. So Bloodcrazed Paladin's probably not very good, but it's early, so you can play it faster. 2 mana 2/2. Probably better than Bloodcrazed Paladin. So we'll definitely take that. Another Contract Killing or a Skyblade of the Legion? I guess we're taking the other Contract Killing. This is going to be the draft where I just overdraft removal because I'm overcompensating for last time, where I had no removal. Alright, all these cards just don't matter at this point. Oops, I want to play Grim Captain's Call. Alright, so we get to cut 4 cards and then hop into the games here. I probably don't want Grasping Scoundrels, they just seem pretty bad. If you're not Pirate, like super aggro. Orc Pirate as well. Same reason. Deck is kinda slow, so I guess we just take out one of the 5-mana cards and then bam, that's our deck. Does not seem that awful. Definitely seems alright to me. But we'll find out in the games. Looks like a pretty standard vampire deck. Nothing crazy going for it. There's really no bombs. There's just good removal, and that's it. So we'll have to see. Good removal, decent curve. Nice little synergistic deck. Will hopefully work out. Go ahead and keep this. We got 2 Sun Sentinels. Those are pretty good. Just get some dudes out here attacking. Plus, Sun Sentinels are really good with auras. So, Mark of the Vampire out of Sun Sentinel seems pretty exciting. Opponent just naturally gets 3 colors of mana. Swamp, Plains, Forest, your go. Unfortunately, did not draw a vampire to cast our Sadistic Sky Marcher. That would have been quite good if we did. So we'll see what our opponent's really doing here. I'm just playing a deck with a slower curve, I guess. Yep! Playing a Dino deck, for sure. So I could just Mark the Vampire a Sun Sentinel, and I can still get in there this turn. But it seems like they're dinosaurs, so if I do that, the problem is the second that they play like a Colossal Dreadmar or something, I can't attack with the Sun Sentinel anymore. Get any value out of it. So I think I should probably just play the Flyer, and then next turn I can play the Anointed Deacon. Make the Flyer 4 power and just keep getting in there in the air instead. And they do play a gigantic dinosaur, so glad I didn't Mark of the Vampire on a Sun Sentinel, because then they could just block with an Aegisaur and put a counter on the rest of their dudes. I would still gain the life, and my Sun Sentinel would survive, but I couldn't keep doing that forever, because the Aegisaur would just keep putting counters on the rest of their dudes until their other dudes were big enough to block it. So I'm not really sure what's going on with my opponent's deck. They just cast a Jade Bearer after 2 dinosaur cards. And they're in green, white, black, so I don't know what the black is for. I guess we'll find out. Probably some random bombs and stuff. But until then, let's just chip away at them with the Sky Marcher. And see how long we can get there doing that. not going to take that long for them to just die to that, if they don't get something out fast here. Snubhorn Sentry, not flying or reach, so does not really matter. We are going to be taking some damage on the ground, but we're gaining 4 life a turn, so I can't possibly see the clock getting too fast for us. So yeah, I would rather just take 3 here than put a counter on the rest of their creatures. So I will do that. Especially because I'm gaining like more than 3 every turn. And now we just have a Legion Lieutenant. Yeah, seems pretty good. 1 more damage with the Sky Marcher. They have a Divine Verdict. Divine Verdict would be pretty bad. Alright, they've got Divine Verdict, so now... I probably cast an Exultant Sky Marcher and then put a Mark of the Vampire on it later, and just like build your own lifelinking flyer. Wow, that's pretty awkward. Oh, that's really, really bad for us. Now they just get to deal 4 to us and gain 4 every turn. Or we put a +1/+1 counter on the rest of their creatures. This is not good. If I double block that, they no longer have a life-linking gigantic dude, but then they have a 3/5, a 2/2, a 4/4, a 4/5, and a 2/2. That seems impossible to beat. I think we just have to make a lifelinker that's bigger than theirs with this Exultant Sky Marcher here. That's like our only hope. Just make sure that we gain more life than them every turn. We just have to block like everything else that they possibly attack with. No blocks here. We will be hitting them for much more than 4. Contract killing is kind of perfect. I just want to suit up the Sky Marcher first, though, and just start getting in there fast. Because, yeah, that's 7 a turn. It's a lot bigger than 4. So, mine's bigger. .exe. They can chump block with their reach guy if they want, but they do not, so I'm back to 20. That's a famished paladin. Probably will contract killing the Bellowing Aegisaur just so that our clock is way faster than we're the only one gaining life, so we just go back into the same position we were in before they gave the Aegisaur lifelink, and before they killed my lifelinker. So let's just get there. Gonna be at a whole lot of life this game by the time it's over. Commune with dinosaurs. Let's see if they get a bomb dino off the top here. So opponent seems to be playing vampire, dinosaur, possibly merfolk as well. But that's fair enough. I guess they're just not that tribal. They're just taking the best cards in the colors. The only thing that they've played that's tribal is Knight of the Stampede and Jade Bearer. The only thing that's really perplexing me about my opponent's deck is the Jade Bearer, because the card's just not good on itself. So they have to have more merfolk in there somewhere, right? I could just contract killing that, but it's just gonna chump block anyway. They only have 5 power. My guy's got 6 toughness. Alright, we'll toss down a Pterodon, get another flyer out there. And it's also a really good blocker for whatever they're doing. Alright. Just get in there again. Still not enough power to kill my Sky Marcher. I guess I should have played the Snubhorn Sentry. I was kind of just clicking fast to get this game over with. Alright, so we got there. Pretty handedly as well. We had the second contract killing in case something scary happened there. So our deck performed pretty well there, even though it was a pretty slow start. Our opponent had an equally slow start to even it out. Alright, see if we can get into the next round here. Here we are. Versus Evgena. Do not know what that means. Hand's a little bit weird. But yeah, this is a really slow hand. It's a lot slower than it looks because Stubborn Sentry doesn't really do anything early. And neither does Bloodcrazed Paladin. Bloodcrazed Paladin just doesn't do anything until creatures are dying, which will be like ever at this rate. So, Vampire Mirror Match it is. We're just going to go ahead and block. If they want to spend a pump spell to kill my sentry, that's cool. And they get the turn 3 Sadistic Sky Marcher. Seems good. Yeah. This is not a great start. Opponent is going to be at a major advantage with these lifelinkers. They are going to have pretty outstanding life advantage early in this game. Once I get this Pterodon out, if they don't have a removal spell, then they can't attack anymore with the little lifelinking guys, which is good. Alright. Goodbye, lands. We do need to draw another land now. At some points. The Legion Lieutenant by himself is kind of just pointless, so I guess I just play Dusk Charger. Should stop them from attacking the Bishop Soldier, or get them to spend a pump spell to kill Dusk Charger. That would definitely be worse. I'm certainly hoping they don't have a pump spell or a removal spell. Hopefully it's just a bunch of creatures in there. Hopefully a bunch of small creatures, specifically. Queen's Agent. That's a pretty big creature. 3/3 life right there. That's a Divine Verdict. We can finally get rid of the flyer that way. We only have 6 permanents. It's gonna be a while before Dusk Charger gets bigger, so I might have to just trade Dusk Charger for their 3/3 lifelinker. And then they just don't have any more threats. If I kill the flyer and the lifelinker, then they only have the 2/2 lifelinker, which I just keep blocking with Snubhorn Sentry. That is unfortunate. Yeah, this is pretty bad. It's pretty bad all around. I could Verdict one of those creatures, but if I just draw a land next turn, then I'm just playing the 2/5 to block the flyer. I don't think I want to Verdict until I know for sure what I'm getting here. We did get the land. Okay. So then I'll play the 2/5, block the flyer, Verdict 3/3 next turn. Oh god. There goes our vampires. If you've seen the video with my blue-red deck in Rivals of Ixalan, you know how irritated I get getting Mind Rotted. You can go ahead and gain your 3, and if you have a pump spell, I'm screwed. They do not have a pump spell. That's good. Everdawn Champion. They have played the ultimate blocker. Don't think I can Sky Marcher yet. So I need to just Divine Verdict the 3/3. I guess I don't need to Divine Verdict the 3/3, but I want to. I probably should have just cast Sky Marcher instead of Divine Verdicting the 3/3, but I made the choice. It's your boy, Sky Marcher. 4/5 Yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I have a 3/3. Start attacking for 2 a turn. Thanks to Vigilance. I kind of forgot that this guy's a dinosaur, so if I could have attacked last turn, I should have. Pale's pretty good. The flyer is gone. Trade time. Good old top deck war time. A top deck war in which I have been forced to discard 4 cards. It's not a very fair top deck war. Legion Lieutenant kind of helps right now. Get in for 3 a turn now. Gonna take a really long time though, because almost every creature they've played has had lifelink, so they're literally at like 40. Now they're down to 36. Vanquish the weak. Oh, this is gonna be an irritating matchup. We both just have a million removal spells. Ruthless Knave. So they can spend some mana to sack a creature to get some treasures, and then they can sack treasures to draw cards. Okay. Guess we're just gonna start getting in there with Anointed Deacon. Yeah, I kind of have to just kill Everdon Champion so that I can actually start attacking. I don't know why they didn't spend the mana to sack it and get some treasure. Yeah, they had the mana to do it. Just sack it, get some treasure. And now they have a 5/5, so getting rid of the 2/2 was kind of worthless at this point. But didn't know what they were going to draw there. I was going to have absolutely no action otherwise. It's one of those games that's going to be just a really long, drawn-out loss, but it's a loss at this point for sure. Oh my god. Congratulations, opponent. You got me. Didn't really have another option. My other option was to lose half of my life. Because, like, the thing about that is, like, because they had the Divine Verdict, that ended really, really poorly for me. But I wouldn't win if they had the Divine Verdict no matter what. Whereas if they didn't have the Divine Verdict, if I could actually get the Dust Charger off the board, I'd still have my 3/3. I could maybe survive for a little while. So sometimes you have to just make plays like that where if they have the card, they blow you out. So just always think, if they have the card, am I going to lose no matter what? And if the answer is yes, then make the play that's better if they don't have the card. If they had Divine Verdict there, I was going to lose no matter what. So I should have blocked the 5/5 just so I had one last chance to draw something, but I don't have a Wrath of God in this deck, so we'll go ahead and just kill their 3/2 out of spite. There were no draws to survive there. One second. Got some texts. Sorry, this is super unprofessional, but I could edit these, but as I've said before, my laptop isn't very good, and the editing software that I know of that's free, that is quite good. I used it to make my I made these old videos that were reviews of spoilers for the newest Magic sets when they were coming out. I used it for those and it was pretty nice. But since my computer's so bad, if I like go in and just do simple edits, like cutting stuff like that out, when I process the video takes about 3 times as long as the video is to process. So for these like 2-hour videos, it would probably take me 10 to 20 minutes just to cut out the little stuff like that. If there's a lot of stuff I'm trying to cut out. If I just wanted to cut that out, that would probably take me like 2 minutes max. But then processing time of the video would be like 3 hours, and then I couldn't use my laptop the whole time for other stuff, so... Unedited, gigantic videos it is, though. If I ever make short videos again, though, like reviews of the spoilers, what I'm excited about and not excited about, and all that, then those will be heavily edited. You can actually do that. But these, I like to just keep them long-form, unedited. Because the only stuff that I would edit out anyway would be little stuff like randomly texting in the middle of the video. And that's just a lot of time and hassle to edit that out. I am not a professional. I just do this in my free time for funs. Alright, so we're playing against like blue-white control. This is pretty bad. I feel like I'm playing standard, because they just dropped Search of Viscant on turn 2, and they've just got removal. Kind of feel like I am playing against a standard deck here with a very limited deck. As you can tell by lands, creatures, removal, that's what my deck is. They have 5 cards in their hand, and all I have is the Mark of the Vampire and an Impale. I think this game's just an auto loss, to be honest. My options now are to do nothing, or to put a Mark of the Vampire on Queensbay Soldier, which is tremendously bad if they have a removal spell. If I cast Mark of the Vampire on Queensbay Soldier and then they just play Vanquish the week, then they have 4 cards and I have 1. And they have a Snubhorn and a Search for Viscant on board. I'm pretty sure I just lose. I guess it all depends on the quality of the cards in their hand. It is entirely possible, but pretty unlikely that they just have like 4 lands in their hand. In which case I could be okay. Yeah, I'm definitely not in a good spot. I think I have to just kill the flyer. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so they'll have the City's Blessing next turn, so every time it attacks, it just keeps getting bigger. So you have to treat this guy as... If I just never kill this is essentially on average like a 4-4. Because the first attack it's a 3-3, next attack it's a 4-4, next attack it's a 5-5, and so on. So like, if I'm treating that as like a 4-4 flyer, I think it's pretty unlikely that they play anything better for me to impale. So I think I should just impale that. Yeah, this game's definitely not a win. I've drawn 4 cards and 8 lands. I've drawn twice as many lands as I've drawn plays. And my opponent has played... My opponent's deck is, like, really good. It's just, like, blue-white control with a bunch of card advantage cards. My opponent's played 8 cards, I've played 3. Feels bad. Oh my god, did I rig hauler on the Queensbay? Just in case I had any reason to attack next turn, now I just definitely can't. Think it's a little too late for another 2-2 here. That can be a 4-4 Vigilance Lifelink, though. That's pretty cool. So yeah, if I'd played the Mark of the Vampire earlier, they just Deadeye Rig Hauler my Queensbay Soldier, and I'm just, like, wrecked. They're down to only 3 cards now, though. So maybe, you know, we're only taking 7 a turn. That's not that bad, right? But yeah, this is what I'm talking about. It's at 4-4 already. Next turn it's going to be 5-5. It's just going to keep getting bigger. Another Deadeye Rig Hauler? Oh boy. I was actually slightly thinking about Sun Sentinel with Mark the Vampire just for a better block. I probably should have done that, because if they had like the other Rig Hauler, then that's another one of those situations like I was saying that I'm just dead anyway. Whereas if they didn't have the other Rig Hauler, if I played like a Mark of the Vampire Sun Sentinel, I could maybe be okay. Last turn. But now I'm just dead. I'm taking 8. They have another removal spell. They have another bounce spell that gets rid of the Mark of the Vampire, puts the guy back in my hand. Well, that was insane. I do think I drew a little bit poorly there. Quite a lot of lands, but also my opponent's deck was very good. They drafted a sweet build. Just blue-white control with Search for Azcanta. They have the draw 2 or 3 if you have Ascend for value. They have the white-blue flyer that keeps getting a counter every time it attacks. That card is so good. I absolutely loved that card when I played this format initially. I played this format in paper at a local game store quite a bit, and I almost always ended up just drafting white-blue flyers. It's kind of weird. When you get into like your local game store meta, there's a lot of times where you can just see that like the local players don't draft a particular archetype very highly. And so you could just like master an archetype and just draft the same archetype like 75% of the time. Because if you're playing against the same players every time, everybody has their own things that they like more than usual. You know? So you can all kind of get into your own groove of your own style of deck. That doesn't always happen. Definitely with Ravnica, we've all been swapping decks a lot. But I remember back in Ixalan, it was like I would always draft white-blue, one of the other players would always draft red-green, and so on. Most of the players would draft whatever they got, but I was like the master of forcing white-blue flyers, and I loved it. I remember one week, I think it was the 3rd week in a row that I played white-blue flyers, which is insane even for me, because usually it's like 2 weeks in a row, and then 1 week like I just don't get the cards and I draft something else. But like the 3rd week, after drafting white-blue 2 weeks in a row, I open my first pack, and it's Azor the Lawbringer, and I'm like, well, I guess we're white-blue flyers again. Yeah, this format isn't even that old, and it's like kind of nostalgic for me. Just for all the fun I had playing with locals, hanging out with people. That is my favorite thing about Magic for sure, is the community, just hanging out with people. Even the videos here, a lot of the reason that it's fun to make the videos is because it's kind of just like, you know, hanging out with people while I'm playing. Because like, technically I'm just sitting here by myself right now, but after the video is uploaded, like, you guys are all commenting, and I get to respond to people, we chill, all that stuff. Talk about what was good and bad about the draft, formats and all that. Magic is such a great game because it's a social game. I don't know where this tangent came from. I should probably get back to the gameplay before everybody starts calling me cheesy. I'm not going to block that, because this guy's got Menace. So he can get in this turn. Ooh! Legion Lieutenant's pretty good right now, because now I can still attack with the Sky Marcher. It is kind of awkward to play the cheapest card this turn, but I have 5 mana cards to cast. But I think Legion's Lieutenant's just the best play there, because now I still get to gain my life without losing my creature. I also get more damage into the Vampire. And now if I Anointed Deacon next turn, I'm attacking with a 5/3 Flying Lifelink. Then they can't even block with the Pterodon, or they'll lose it. That seems really good. So we'll see what they have here. They definitely could have like Bombard or Luminous Spawns or something. That'd be pretty good. I don't think I'm making any blocks here. Don't really want to lose my Legion's Lieutenant. Ooh. Oh, and now I draw Blood Crazed Paladin. How good would Blood Crazed Paladin have been last turn? Actually, not that good. He'd be a 4/4, so I'd actually have something on this board, but wow, that was rough. That was a real good fiery cannonade. Looks like I should have blocked with Legion's Lieutenant. That was like the only card that they could have had that would have made blocking with Legion's Lieutenant like the right play. I don't know why they cast that. They should have cast that before attacks. Because if I block with Legion's Lieutenant, then they just lose some value that way. I'm getting a phone call from work. I'm just gonna hide that under my bed. Pretend nothing happened. Okay. I'm gonna drop another Pterodon here, I think. I think the best play is to just sit here and block things. There's like no reason to attack. Then I'm just trading my 2/5 for their 2/1 flyer. That seems really bad. Because then I attack and they block with both their Pterodons and their Aspirant. And I can only do 2 damage, so I just hit the Aspirant. This is going to be the most... I've said this before, so this is probably not accurate, but I was about to say this is going to be the most unprofessional video because I just got like a call from work in the middle of it as well. And now I'm probably going to check my voicemail. Just make sure that it's not something I really have to get in for. Yeah, no, I don't think it matters. Okay. Sorry. We're not in a great spot this game, but we're still at 18. We have more cards than our opponent. It's not, like, terrible. Just play a Deacon. Just play 3/3s here. So we can play a Legion's Lieutenant, but it's just a 2/2 by itself. But then we're trying to play Blood Crazed Paladin, and I don't know if we can reliably just decide when trades are going to happen. They're probably just not going to attack. So I'm just going to play Deacon. And Deacon will have to trade with the Buccaneers if they offer the trade. So they're going to put Tillinolly's Crown on one of their Pterodons, and that's pretty bad. They're going to have a Pterodon that's a 5/5 trample. And I'm going to have to use a Divine Verdict on it, but I should be okay. I could have just taken the turn off to Divine Verdict, but then that would have been really obvious. But still, you can't really play around it. You still got to make attacks, you know? I guess they just didn't want to attack that turn. All I could really do is block with 2 Pterodons and lose one, so I don't know why they wouldn't attack there. I think we're just passing for a while here until we can Divine Verdict the Pterodon. And I'll have the mana to Divine Verdict and cast a Paladin the same turn if they make like a really big attack that lets us kill some creatures. That would be cool. Oh, I guess they didn't attack with it because we could actually double block with Pterodons and kill it because it had a damage on it. Forgot about that. So this is one of those moments, like, I should probably just play the Paladin as a 2/2. I can also just attempt to make sure that it's like something really big and really meaningful. But I think the odds of that are not very high. Now we get to play Vampire... the Vampire Lord and the Anointed Deacon. Which is pretty cool. Make our like a really big Anointed Deacon. Is that a good attack? If I attack with that, they block with their 2-2 and their 2-1. That's fine. We gotta clear off the board somehow. Yep, that'll get some dudes off there. Now I can start attacking with the Pterodons because they only have one flying blocker, so I get to get in for 2 a turn, depending on what they play here for sure. Baffling End. I'm guessing that is going on the Lieutenant. Yes, it is. So now my Deacon just trades for their Buccaneers, which is whatever. I don't think we're going to offer the trade. We're just going to attack with our Pterodons, because our Pterodons can just block their Buccaneers, so he's not a problem. We don't need to get him off the board here. Attacking with Deacon is just bad for us. They just get to trade their less good guy for our pretty good one. So we'll just get in there for 2 a turn and hope that they don't draw into anything too strong. Hopefully just draw some more 2-1s and 2-2s and stuff. 2 Pterodons is better than 1, and hopefully that'll get there, because that's basically the only difference with the board here. We have almost the exact same board, I just have 2 Pterodons. So hopefully that's good enough. Vampire Revenant is pretty bad right now. I guess actually it's good. I completely forgot that it's a vampire. It has vampire in the name. So I can play this, and then Anointed Deacon can give it +2 power, so it's basically a 5-1 flyer. So that can actually trade with the Pterodon, so that could be good. See, I think it is correct to just save the Bloodcrazed Paladin back until we can make it something that actually matters on this board. I don't think a 2-2 matters on this board, so I think it's fine that we didn't cast it earlier. If we could just play this a turn that some creatures trade, then that should be fine. Like, if we trade with Pterodon and Revenant, I think we just play it. Just have another 3-3. 2 3-3s is better than 1 3-3. Skymarch Bloodletter is a pretty good draw. We are really just going for it in the air. Send the Pterodons in, send the Revenant in. Probably just block the Revenant at this point. They're only at 10, so if they don't block the Revenant, they go to 3 life, which seems pretty risky. So down to 6, so I'm going to play the Bloodletter. I guess they're like really dead on board, so we don't have a reason to play Paladin here. Paladin would be a 3-3 at this point, but if they play some other kind of Wrath, if they play Star of Extinction, then Bloodcrazed Paladin would be really good. It's better to just have it in our hand just in case they have a Wrath of God that just destroys all creatures. Alright, so yeah, they were very dead there. They accept the loss. Get a rank up, that's cool. Alright. So 2 wins, 2 losses. Can we make it to the average? 3-3. Maybe. Maybe we can. I think this deck's okay. I think the Bloodcrazed Paladin is pretty bad. Probably should have just drafted the 5-mana 3-3 Vampire instead of it. Other than that, though, we've got a lot of removal. We've got decent creatures for sure. A lot of decent cards. I think we just don't really have any bombs. That's the main thing with this deck. Probably just gonna trade for that guy. These are not the greatest draws. I think I have to just play him rather than just save him in my hand, because if I just save him in my hand, he's probably going to be in there for a long time. So we just trade for the companion. I offer the trade now because if they didn't want to do the trade, then it's just free damage. And if they just attacked with it next turn, we'd just trade then anyway. Alright, this is not good. So whenever we get... Oh my god, that's so good. That's so good. Wow, this is not good. Whenever I draw a land, I would like to draw a swamp first. Clearly. But any land would be fine. Looks like we don't get a land yet. Hopefully you don't have like another Atsakan Archer. That would be really scary. Turn that guy into a 6/6. I guess I do have another vampire in my hand, so I can do that. We'll reveal the Vampire Revenant because we can cast it sooner, so it's more likely that we'll play it. I think at this point I am just attacking with the Voracious Vampire. If they double block and have a pump spell for the Ceratops, that's just the worst thing in the universe. Because then they get to kill both of my creatures at the cost of one card, and they make their creature better. So I'm just not going to allow them to have that possibility. So we have an Impale now, but they have a 6/6 trample at this point. I think at this point I just have to hope that they don't have a pump spell, or things are like really, really over. So I just don't attack, double block the Ceratops. If they have a pump spell, that's really bad, but I can technically... Oh, God. I need contract killing mana. That's contract killing mana. Alright, so we're on that same thing. If they don't have the pump spell, we can maybe come back. If they do, we're absolutely dead. I think the speed at which they attacked means they have the pump spell, and I'm just super dead. Oh, no they don't. Okay. What do they have then? What is the follow-up here? Colossal Chetma, oh my god. Opponent has a spicy dinosaur deck. Well, we can survive by chump blocking with Pterodon, and that's basically all we can do here, I think. If a source would deal damage... Oh, God. I can only do 1 damage to their dinosaurs now. That's a lot of cool dinos. That is a sick deck. But we've absolutely lost now. There's not a single card in my deck that I could draw to come back at this point. But we'll pretend there is, because that's kind of cool, right? We'll make the best plays, assuming that we somehow had a Wrath of God in here. Maybe opponent will be slightly spooked. I can't survive this turn. I realize it doesn't matter, I can't survive this turn. Even with that draw, I can't survive this turn. I take 1, 2, 3, 4. I take exactly 4, thanks to the 1 trample damage. Well, that was pretty brutal. This was another instance where we didn't get the best creatures to fill out this deck. I think that was mainly just because I was taking removal really highly. I think that was still correct, though. But definitely during the drafting process, like, we just didn't see a lot of good vampires. So we ended up with stuff like Dusk Chargers and Pterodons, which I absolutely don't think that they were bad cards. But if those were just like equally good vampires, I think this deck would have been really good. But the way it turned out with just the random non-vampire decent creatures made the deck just alright. So 2-3, slightly below where I think that deck should be. I think that deck was basically exact average 3-3. But we did our best, we tried. And sometimes you just get crushed by better decks. And that's okay, because then you open a Vraska in your prize pack. right? That's just how it goes. Just get rewarded. Alright, well, thank you everybody for watching another ranked draft of Rivals of Ixalan, and I'll see you all again soon for another video of Magic Arena stuff. It will be more drafts, or whatever kind of chaos, random, ridiculous formats they put on here. I like to try them all out, and some of them I like a lot. I really like Momir. Amazonian's Play Anything draft was pretty good. Greedy draft was good. Cascade was like really unbalanced. I feel like Cascade was a real coin flip whoever wins in like any game. Because you just had degenerate Lavinia decks and degenerate red decks, and that was ridiculous. And then degenerate white decks. Every deck in Cascade is just stupid. But yeah, I like to try them all out, so I'll see you all next time for more drafts or chaos formats and stuff. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.